person with high strangeness. I'm Michaela, and Ebony got really sick, or we were going to take you to the observatory, and I'm just going to be taking her spot for now. But she is doing better.
Are you my friend?
Fine. How are you?
I'm tired tonight, so I'm going to mutilate your name. Would you be?
Sindra.
Sindra. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, it's one of my trademarks, to mutilate names.
All the time.
All the time,
All the
yeah.
time. But I do my best not to. I'm making an effort.
Yeah, to speak loud would be really great, because
Louder?
we don't
Okay.
have a mic here.
Ah, fine. Okay, fine.
We have packed and have not, because I had told you I was going to be gone by now. And then my granddaughter got sick, so. So tell me, how did you end up in this city?
Oh, I just moved down here to go to college and never left.
Never left?
Mm-hmm.
And so if I was to ask you, what's the difference between living in the city and on the country?
Well, let's see. I grew up in Bakersfield, so that's a good contrast.
Yeah.
And just a lot more people. You know, a lot more people. It's a lot harder to get from the city to outside of the city, because I mean, after all, Bakersfield is fairly developed. But it's easy. 15 minutes and you're out of the city, you're into the country, you're into open hills where you see nothing except rolling hills.
Isn't that great?
It's great. I miss it.
Yeah. Are you fortunate enough to have people of like mind around?
By like mind, what do you mean?
People that think like you?
Well, I mean, I understand that, but I mean, with regard to one area of interest, or?
Yeah, we could go that way.
Well, yeah, I would say, yeah.
Some areas have a large metaphysical community, others don't have one at all. Some,
well, there's certainly a large metaphysical community here. I mean, we're at, LA, you know, so.
That's right, yeah.
So yeah, that part is, there certainly is.
So that's a good advantage.
Oh, it's easy, yeah. It's very, very easy to connect with people who are spiritually inclined.
And you work at a health food store, I understand?
No, I work in a clothing store. Yes, Abundance.
Oh.
Yeah. It's a clothing store for plus-size women.
Oh, is it? Oh, great.
Yeah.
You've been there long?
Oh, yeah. I've been there for about 9 years, but only the last 3 years full-time.
And so if you could do anything you wanted to, we kind of really stiff here, aren't we? A little bit. Yeah, because we were talking, actually you was up the stairs and I was down the stairs. And I couldn't get up there, so we're just yelling up and down. We had this hell of a conversation, didn't we?
Well, it just takes us time to get warmed up.
Yeah. You wouldn't happen to remember what this great conversation was we had.
I don't.
Because it was so good.
I guarantee you that if you start asking me what I'd really like to do, the conversation's going to get pretty interesting.
What do you really want to do? You're not in the business, no?
I'm not in the business.
Okay,
no,
so, yeah, so you're probably the only person that's not in the business. What do you think?
One would think after being here for a while that everybody here is in the business.
Yeah.
So, no, I'm not. No.
Yeah.
Don't have any desire to be.
Olympia is the capital, so we have a lot of politicians. And so we have name droppers and who knows who, but it's nothing compared to this.
Oh, yeah. Yes, we take it to a high art.
Yeah, and I could stay in this complex, which I may have to because I have to move my car again. I can't get out. That's what we was talking about, my car.
Oh, that's right.
They keep moving my car for days I didn't know where it was. Then I found it, then I couldn't get to it. And if I did, I couldn't open the gate.
That's terrible.
Yeah, but I could be in this complex talking to people for what? Everybody here, and everybody is in the business and has a story.
Everybody here definitely has a story, even if they're not in the business.
That's right. So, well, you take me somewhere.
Well, all right. Why don't I take you where I would like to go?
Right.
Which is, what would I really like to be doing? And what I'd really like to be doing is the work that I do for my heart, which is working with people who are older, who are in career transition, who've been displaced from careers that they liked. Now, speaking of the industry, that's the biggest problem, is the entertainment industry really is very harsh when it comes to anyone over 40. And so I have seen dozens and dozens of people who've been very successful and who are used to working 9 months and being off 3, but now it's beginning to shift, and they're working 3 months and they're off 9
months.
And they're downsizing their lives, they're downsizing their entire world, essentially, because they can no longer afford it, because they're not realizing the same income that they used to, and it's a very difficult thing. So
can I interrupt you for a minute?
Mm-hmm.
But now, here I'm just about 60.
Mm-hmm.
For me, all of a sudden, to enter that type of arena, that's bizarre, isn't it?
Yeah. It's challenging.
Challenging. I'm going to stay in Washington, just maybe come down every once in a while.
Yeah, come and visit.
Come visit, yeah. So, so I interrupted you. I just want to put that in there because I didn't realize.
Yeah, it's challenging. Once you're, I mean, honestly, there are a lot of people over 40 who are having no problem at all.
Yeah.
But there are many more people over 40 who are having a tremendous problem. And not just the entertainment industry. I mean, any industry. It's really challenging for them.
Yeah.
And what really has to happen is people need to be very, very fluid and very flexible in their ability to reinvent themselves. That quality comes easily for some people, but it does not come easily for the average person.
Yeah.
It's a very challenging thing to have to be in an industry, in a profession that you loved, that you really were, you identified with, you know, that was who you were. And suddenly it goes away for whatever reason, whether it's technology changes, whether it's changes in economy. No matter what the change is, if that thing that you were doing, that you loved and you spent 20, 30 years doing, if it goes away, if it evaporates, and suddenly you're left saying, well, but I'm really good at this. Nobody wants me, but I'm really good at this, you know. It's a very harsh reality, and it is not an easy thing for everyone to face. Some people can do it and flow. A lot of people don't. They get angry and they get frustrated, and their life begins to deteriorate on all levels. And that's really the person that I want to work with, is the person who has gotten to the point where it's 2 years out or more, and their life has changed, and it has shifted, and it has deteriorated, and now they're really stuck, and they're angry, and that anger gets in the way of doing anything else. And I help them shift their thinking and be able to see themselves doing something else.
Oh wow, that's interesting. You know, I think you might be able to pull that off.
I certainly hope so. That is my intention. And I have done it in the WorkSource arena, which is, you know, the WorkSource system is part of the Unemployment Office, you know, Employment Development Department. It's a government-funded community service. But that community service really, while they can help, people who have an education, who have a really fine work history, those are not the people that are the most in need. So they are not the first people to get help. So it really is not the best arena for that to happen. I want to do it outside of that system because it's just hard to do it within the system. So that's where my challenge is. I want to do it outside of that system, which means it either has to be grant funded so that the person who needs the service can afford to have it. Or it needs to be fee-based, which means you have to be able to afford it, you know. So, so there's the challenge. There's my challenge.
So what do you do for fun?
What do I do for fun? Oh my gosh. Let's see, fun. I remember that.
What was that?
Small 3-letter word. Let's see, for fun. Reading is a big one for me. Right now I'm doing a lot of reading around spiritual enlightenment, spiritual growth, my soul purpose, all of that sort of thing. So I do a lot of work around that, a lot of meditation, that sort of thing. I walk a lot, you know, socialize, have people over for dinner. that sort of thing. So I'm pretty quiet these days.
Yeah, you also the lady that brought the best banana pie I have ever had in my whole life.
Food is very important.
I know. But speaking of food, you know, we went to, I ran out of tapes.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to go to Costco's, and I picked up fruit for Ebony so she can recover a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And your food here is a lot higher than it's in Washington State. A little tub of cherries for $8.99.
Yep.
You know,
We're
so a person would have to make a fortune to begin with to, you know, be able to maneuver here.
I must tell you, I don't know if this is important, but the red light is on your camera.
Well, yeah, I know.
Is that good or bad? 'Cause
That's-
it wasn't on originally.
Yeah, right, and so I
Okay.
turned it on so
Okay,
that
fine.
you will be on camera. We can see you.
Okay, good. Fine.
Cool. That's
Sure.
a no.
I wanted to be sure it wasn't a bad thing.
No, I got my on Ebony. That means that you're hot. That means that we're rolling. How cool.
Okay, very good.
Oh, good. That's a Kodak moment.
Just never know.
No, yeah, that's it. You just never know. Let's see what else we're going to talk about. Yeah, how people mix the spiritual aspect and the work and socializing and all at the same time.
Yeah, that's a big challenge.
Yeah.
You know, I think the biggest challenge for me is
Loud.
maintaining spiritual integrity within the workplace because those around me don't subscribe to that
Uh-huh.
foundation,
Yeah.
you know, which is again why I am really strenuously looking not to have to be working at the shop forever.
Yeah. And you have animals?
Yes, 2 cats.
2 cats. Oh, cats are good. There's so many dogs here.
Yes.
Yeah. The other thing I noticed, there's a lot of women living here.
Yes, I guess you're right.
Yeah,
I never thought about that.
And I've interviewed several of them, and they are so creative.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's a complex that I think attracts people who are not mainstream because the complex is so unusual.
It is, yeah, it really is. I saw a car there, it says Bardot. Would you happen to know if that's Brigitte Bardot?
Huh, don't know.
Yeah, called my niece in Europe. I said, is she still alive? And Claudia thought so. And so if she is, I found her car in one of those parking spaces here.
I doubt it because I don't think she lives in the U.S.
There were a couple of scandals in her later life, and chances are she could have kind of blended in somewhere. And if the car hadn't been a Jaguar, I wouldn't have questioned that, you know. So, I thought maybe no, Bardot.
Probably not.
No, yeah.
Oh, well.
What do you want to say to people that we haven't covered? What's important that you would like to put out there?
Gee, my words of wisdom for the world?
Yeah, that's about it.
I don't know. Love is all there is.
Yeah. Now we're going to go one better than that. Maybe not better, but one further. You are in charge of the world. What are you going to do?
That's true. Well, I'm in charge of my own little universe, and I have to be very...
Loud.
I am in charge of my own universe, and I am very diligent about how I manage it.
It's working for you?
Certainly getting better.
Okay, so put your foot down. We'll all get there, huh?
Someday soon.
You don't have to answer that if you don't want to, but what's your outlook on the political arena at the moment?
It's due for a change, and my whole thing is it's got to change. And what I think is very interesting is that people don't understand that the more energy you expend in complaining about what's wrong, the more you get of that. That you've got to stop that, put that aside, and start talking about all the things that you want. Create that reality that you see for us, for you, for the country, whatever. And so that's one of my personal political platforms is I just won't get into the whole protesting about things. You know, I really talk about what I want, and I want change. And personally, I think that having a woman in the White House would be the biggest change we could possibly have. So
If the right one.
even the wrong one, I think, would be
Really?
would be better than having the same thing, which any of the men who are running, I think, are still going to be pretty much the same. You know?
Well, the woman we have running is very left brain.
Mm-hmm.
So you think
True
things will
enough.
change?
Absolutely, and I'll tell you
think
why.
so.
It's not necessarily that she's the, although I do, actually I think Hillary would be a very good president. I think the first woman president is going to have to be absolutely fierce, and I
That's
think
right,
she
yeah.
is. No woman could survive the White House for the first time and not be fierce and not be very masculine in her energy.
Right.
So I think Hillary is a very good candidate from that regard, in that regard, and from that standpoint. But when I say that in a way it doesn't matter, it's a shift in consciousness. If we can get past the concept of, oh, a woman will never be president, and actually elect a woman president, I think that alone will create a shift in our consciousness about the possibilities for that office. So that I would be willing to have almost, not absolutely anyone, but almost anyone. And I'm really comfortable with Hillary. So, even though she may not be perfect.
Yeah. Well, so what do you say to the young people here?
Well, optimism is essential, and I think that I see a lot of potential in the younger kids that I'm dealing with. I see a lot more optimism. And I think that's a really good thing, because there was a while when it seemed like our youth were just so not optimistic, and they were so, I don't know, gloom and doom, you know. So I think the optimism that I'm seeing in my friends' children is very heartening.
Well, okay. Is there anything else you can think of? We're just going to laugh and joke, and I don't know if it is or not. I'm just tired.
I'm sorry.
I know, but we slept like an hour and a half.
That's bad.
And yeah, and I didn't want it to be formal, and it wasn't.
No.
It wasn't. Actually, I had on makeup earlier today, and I was all danged up for the interview, for the things that I'm going to do. But when you're done with that, you want to take the wig off and rub the powder up your nose, and that's the end of it, yeah. So I'm hoping to see you again real soon.
Good.
And I thank you so very, very much for having shared time and space with us.
Thank you very much. My pleasure.
Okay,
What fun.
cool. Now watch this. This is going to happen. The light's going to go off. You see, just like that. Well, you see, that's what it was. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, last week we had taken you to Bel Air.
Hey, what?
It's a continuation. Look at the beautiful colors on these roses. It's just magnificent.
Better though.
Here's another. Lost them. Where they at? Here they are. Just beautiful colors. You can actually hear the birds up here. There you have yellow and blue in this beautiful estate. I found some margaritas. The music stopped. And this for my friend Catherine. These are calla lilies. Wow.
What?
We even have some ferns here. Just beautiful. Come on, straighten out. There you are. Oh, pretty, pretty.
Where?
I tried to get that lizard for you, I couldn't. And yellow roses. Palm trees right in the middle of everything. I think this concludes every color on the planet, almost. Hey, Ebony found some grapes, but you know what? If I back up, I'm gonna fall in a swimming pool. Wow. A tree here with some round stuff. I don't know what it is. Never seen it before. Huh. Don't know what it is. And that's our telephone. He's just gonna eat the lens. Yes, Clifford. Eating the camera, wanting some love. Okay, I'll do it.
Please. Ups and long. A house covered in ivy.
Jaguar. Oh, there's. Put that down.
This is a pretty house here. We're still in Bel Air. We're going down. We got some pretty nice houses here.
There's the cliffs.
Here's some of the Bel Air cliffs going down. You can see LA down there. This is Nancy Reagan's house.
Former president.
The former president of Ronald Reagan. That's his wife's house. And I didn't get a very good picture of it, but it's a big white house, like the White House would be. At night it lights up blue, like an open sign. Architecture here. Thin houses. Tall, thin houses. This is going back towards Sherman Oaks. And I just noticed the houses are tall and thin around here. And there's a big mansion way up there.
Glass windows.
With all these glass windows. I wonder who lives there. I have no idea. This is some of the city down there.
Prepare to turn left in 0.2 miles on.
There's some houses up on this hillside. It's just amazing how they just sit there. We're going down into Sherman Oaks now. That's that city down here. That's a nice house. It's big. Cadillac. That's where you get all your Cadillacs and your Hummers. Malcolm, fat burger. Yum. Didn't know burgers could get fat. Right on. It's a DJ school here. Well, we're back in Sherman Oaks. We made it back from Bel Air, and this is where they asked you if you were a bag lady.
Oh, yeah. After we got Ebony out of the hospital, we ended up, I had to get her medicine, and she couldn't wait 15 minutes. She couldn't stand up straight. So I volunteered to stay, and they wouldn't give me a chair. So I went outside, and there was a little ledge on the building, outside of the building.
Mm-hmm.
And so I slid down to sit on the ledge. Well, I got stuck, and I ended up sitting on the sidewalk. Then a back lady, well, a lady, very nicely dressed lady came, and she said, "Can I have a cigarette?" And I said, "I'll make a deal. You get me up and I'll give you a cigarette." So she said, "Well, I don't want to bother you." I said, "You get me up and I'll give you a cigarette." She said, "Okay, okay." So she got me up and we struggled there for a minute. And then a big old car came and with a driver, and the lady told the driver to stop. She came straight for me and she said, "I got a bag of food in the car. Would you like to have it?" And I said, "No, give it to her." I was so exhausted from your ordeal. I looked worse than the bag lady.
Yep.
Yep, right egg. What's the name of the drugstore? Ebony.
CVS. No.
Okay, so we're gonna take you to another fun place. And that was the middle of the show. Rosie, I'll tell them for you. Would you give me your name, please?
My name is David Banks.
That's right, Mr.
I'm
Banks.
Chinese and black.
Cool.
I'm from Singapore. I can't speak no kind of Chinese.
Yeah, that's what we needed.
I hope you enjoy this. Drop it like it's hot.
And I thank you for your time.
Okay, and you good luck to you, baby.
Yeah.
And your 15 grandchildren.
Go to the freezer at the grocery store from Marie Callender. We are at the real Marie Callender. They make the best. They make the best pies. I'll show you some. I'm gonna come over here and I have a surprise for you. This is Pam. Your name? What was your name? You have to talk loud. Davidson, no? Pam Davidson.
And I had Davidson's used cars in Olympia.
Davidson's used car on Young Highway.
Yes.
And we're in Lancaster now.
And we're in Lancaster, California. I've been here 10 years now.
That long, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big change.
Your car lot is townhouses.
Don't even recognize the property anymore. It's like we never lived there.
Yeah.
Our footprint has been erased.
We go, what, back 30 years maybe? Pretty close. Yeah. So for those of you that remember Pam, here she is.
Yep.
Yeah. Anything you want to add?
Just hello to all my friends in Thurston County. It's been a long time since I've seen many of you people, and I hope all is well with everyone.
Cool, and I'm so glad we finally made it.
Me too.
Always missed it. We got you out of bed early, and then we got lost. Yeah, sorry.
That's okay. It's good to see old friends.
Yeah. Ebony was just a baby, no?
She was probably 6 the last time I saw her, 6 or 7.
Yeah.
She was a very small child then.
Well, okay, thanks, Pam, and it's so good to see you.
Good to see you too, Lilian.
That's Michelle's, Ebony's breakfast. Fine. And Miss Pam has the same as mine, plus ketchup, so. Only dinner we didn't take a picture of is the one we really, really needed.
Of course.
So, Marie Callender, Swiss Sun Bakery. Cream pie. There's nothing we can do about that.
Uh-oh. This is supposed to be an air
It's outside it stinks, honey. It can't be us.
Yeah, it smells like pollution.
It's us?
No, it smells like pollution.
Oh my God.
I want to show you some of this smoke here. Don't know what's burning, but something is.
This is the Red Rock Canyon. Randsburg is 22 miles east of here, which is the ghost town, and we're not going there on the way back. So just give you a glimpse here. Ebony's still recovering. But this is Highway 14. And we are in the canyon. We've never brought you this way before, so looks kind of like Arizona a little bit, in Utah. That smoke we was looking at, it kind of went away, so we must have been driving away from it. of Springs in the high desert.
Back in here is where the forest fires were. As you can see, the mountains up here are really kind of black.
Yeah, last week.
And this is just off of 395.
Yeah, 395 was closed for days.
According to the map we just looked at the gas station, this is a military naval base and China Lake. Doesn't look like a lake, but that's supposed to be here. This is another view of the forest fires that happened around here. Goes all the way around, up the mountain, and all the way in front of us. No wonder why 395 was closed. Little lake. Just a little lake in the middle of the desert. Maybe that's where it's got its name, Little Lake. And that's the end of the lake.
It's 126. And I've stopped in the rest area here. Like a hairdryer blowing at you. On high. As part of two payphones. And everybody stopped here. Our phones worked. We are at the edge. But we are almost out of the Mojave Desert. This is the wind you're hearing. Nature's blow dryer. We are here where the arrow is. Well, wind have blown my camera somewhere, so give you a roundabout here. Get out of the blow dryer and head for Bishop. And there's Ebony. And she's feeling better. We did not see a lot of RVs this year. I guess Californians don't RV a whole lot. Oh, here comes another one. It's almost too windy for those type of vehicles here. Okay, back on the road we go.
This, you guys could probably guess what this is. This is Death Valley. It's the desert. This used to be a sign before it got wore out of Death Valley. Death Valley. 101 miles.
Yeah, it's 100.
We're playing tag with the trucker. We're gonna let him go by, and we found some neat buildings. Thought we'd take a picture of.
And he's pulling over too.
And there's a truck. What is he
And he's
doing?
pulling over too, huh?
Crazy.
It's waiting for me to go by again.
We're not going by. We got a Ranch House Cafe. This is Lone Pine, California, not Lone Pine, Nevada.
Those are the people that keeps with this espresso bar. And then they say, well, all I have is coffee. And you say, well, I want an espresso about the coffee again.
Yeah, but we're not going to.
Why does we do that?
I don't know. Hey, I found some cows, some cattle back there. It's amazing what you find if you just take the time and look. Nope, they're there.
Well, here goes the trucker. I'm gonna come out and he's gonna pull up behind me again. I bet you.
Yep.
Maybe it's somebody I know.
Maybe he's just tired of driving.
Maybe he just wants to follow me.
Again, it's the end of Death Valley. And this is Cottonwood Power Plant.
What kind of power is that?
I have no idea.
Look at that. Oh, God.
That's a water tower. Got Phillips Station. He's merry-go-round. Our earthquake site right up here. This is where it burnt on the side of the highway.
This one too. That's like, wow. They had a real problem here.
And it burned it on this side too. So that was the wildfire damage. As you can see, there's nothing but shrubs and leftover burnt dirt from the fires on the side of the highway.
This one.
And the other side looks exactly the same. Nothing but burntness on the side of the highway.
Yeah, we're in Bishop at the motel. In room number 19. Yeah. It's really hot. Nice bed. Looks very clean. Name of the place is, I don't know what the name of the place is. Never think. What's the name of the place? What's the name of the place? We don't know.
America's Best Value Inn.
Okay. Now we're gonna have to go eat. The other side of Jack's. We showed it to you on the way down, but we're on the other side. Tapioca pudding. Look at there. And they look good. Cool. Thank you. So we can prove what we ate. Bishop. This is the place we stayed at last night in Bishop. We're heading out again for a new day.
Indian National Forest was also on fire. As you can see, there was a little spot there. I'm pretty sure there's more because fire spreads. And this is the forest. I don't know if they're gonna show up very good, but there's like clouds sitting on top of these mountains.
We are at 7,000 feet.
Yes, we are at 7,000 feet.
Well, at least not snowing. Last time it was.
Yeah, it's not snowing. And it's nice today. It's a nice day. This is where we're going. Down here.
There was a sign there said, turn off your air conditioner to keep from overheating. We climbed 3,000 feet in what, 10 miles?
In 10 miles. The clouds I was trying to show you on top of the mountains. They're directly in front of us now. It's a field up here, and we must be at 7,000 500 feet up.
Every time I see a field, I'm thinking, crop circle, but it's too little.
Yeah. In the mountains here are rocky. As you see. Get quick down there.
It's fishing.
Couldn't really see it, but there was water down there. That was Crooked Creek, and there was Native Americans fishing. They have houses like we have them right next to each other, and they have all this room up here.
All this space.
What do they call them? Townhouses? Yeah. Or we can call them monopoly houses. It's the water. And we have some cows in the distance. But that's the water. And it ends over here. We got a guy on a bike in the mountains. Talk about a workout. Must flood good here because this is an indication that they have water. We got some horses. A cloud sitting on top of the mountain. This is a warehouse. I don't know what it houses, but it's big.
Could be a prison, but it doesn't have water tower.
It could be a prison.
Yeah,
Well,
water tower.
just a little one back here.
Convict lake. Something.
Yeah, it could be. Most likely. Well, they have airplanes. Airplanes. And more. Oh, they have a ton of cars. But I don't know what it is. Oh, I guess there's more. Maybe they're building a town up here. Anything's possible. And that's the end of it. It's the Mammoth Lake area, and they've been having earthquakes every day. Sometimes a couple times a day. Just been shaking. Keep the prayer on. Reminding us to prevent forest fires.
Windy.
It is windy. I think we just climbed the last 8,000 feet.
That's 1,000.
Oh, 1,000 feet?
No. Yeah, 8,000. Oh, 841.
8,041 feet
Yeah.
above sea level. And we're still in the Innu forest. Trees everywhere. It's June Lake.
No, it's not. We're not there yet.
Oh, okay.
False alarm.
I lied. That's not June Lake. But okay. Where the Innu forest was burnt.
Yeah, jump the highway, look.
And it jumped the highway over here.
Yeah.
No wonder why 395 was closed.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh my God.
It's all bare.
It really got it good.
Oh, wow. Well, this is the national forest.
All the way down there. It got it good.
It burned the whole half of the mountain.
On both sides.
Sad.
They did a good job of putting it out, though.
They did. Look at these. Trees so sad. Yep.
There's red stuff here from where the fire retardants.
Mhm. There's a lake back here.
Mammoth Lake.
This is Mammoth Lake. In the distance.
As far as you get, that military installation is back there.
Mhm.
Maybe a couple of helicopter night or remember.
Yep.
There's a shocker to the system. There was an RV here with a man from Holland. He was trying to fill up his RV. I told him go to the other side of the mountain to the bayous. It's $2 cheaper. Wow. This is in Wind Lining, I think. It's right on the bottom of the mountain we just came to, but then look what we find here. If we needed to stop and look up some on the internet, I think that's considerate for the people, even though the gas is so high.
Mono Lake. We showed you the other side of Mono Lake on our way down to California, with the where the military installation was. But this is Mono Lake, just outside of Lee Viney. Showed you these on the way down, but this is a better view of these cabins you can rent overlooking Mono Lake, and might be a good experience to stay there a couple nights because Mono Lake has a lot of activity.
Weird stuff.
A lot of weird stuff at Mono Lake. So, if you get a chance, maybe you can try that. The water's so beautiful. Mountains up here still have snow on them. And if we get right around the corner is Bodie. This is the ghost town that we didn't get to see. Bodie. And we have just enough time to say goodbye.
It's the end of show number 10. We'll see you tomorrow. Next week. Bye.
Next week, bye.
Instead of letting you wait till the end of the series here to get an outcome of Ebony's condition, she did recover. She had a relapse in the desert, which we'll see in a week or so. There were many challenges with the insurance company. As of this date, they have not settled because they wanted to prove that Ebony, what it was that Ebony had eaten. Since she ate a piece of broccoli, that was somewhat hard to do. And so we are still fighting with the insurance. what I want to tell you about is when we took her to the hospital in Sherman Oaks. Keep in mind she had just turned 18, so I was not allowed to go in with her. In case you haven't noticed, she's very black. And they treated her like an addict. They wanted to know, had she tried to kill herself, what kind of drugs had she been taking, who was giving her what drugs. They treated her really, really badly. And they wasted a total of 2 hours to run blood tests to see what kind of drugs she had taken, even though we told them that she had food poisoning from a piece of broccoli. So eventually I befriended a guard that was guarding the patients. There were 2 guards to each patient and 2 nurses on the floor. And he put me in a wheelchair, snuck me in there, and that's how I managed to stay with her and take some of the pictures that you saw last week, Ebony in the hospital. And this week where we went to Denny's, that was her first time out. Of course, she was scared to eat. And we talked to some of the people about that, and it was there that she had a phone call from the insurance company. So the second day, excuse me, we went there. Well, they now knew she was a person, and but they didn't dilute the potassium properly, anything like that. So when it was all said and done, the 2 9-hour stays at the hospital and them treating her like crap came to close to $8,000. And as you see this, the fight with the insurance is still going on, and it's just so sad. We have healthcare problems, and then when you finally get somebody to help you, there's so much wrong with the way things are. So the phone's ringing. I got to answer it. We'll see you next week, and Ebony's fine, okay? And we'll see you next week, and we hope that we gave you a little insight in the going-ons at that moment. Bye. Randy working on the new version of Lilian, Miss Lilian.
It's part of why I planted still. And if we do our part, use our heart, fulfill our mission we've had from Miss Lilian. we'd like to thank you for all the fun while you took us here, took us there. And it is just because you
Thank you.